whenever you're ready, you may begin.
How do you feel when you have to wait for something you really want? What if that is something you cannot live without? Well, there is a need for organ donors in this country that constantly grows when it's really easy to become an organ donor. But organ donation is not a topic that many people will discuss because they're just not aware of the problem. Today I'm going to talk to you about what is organ donation and what are some myths that follow it, a story about organ donation, how to become an organ donor and which organs could you donate, and the need of organ donors in the US. So, what is organ donation? Just as the word said, is donating your organs. And this information comes from the Donate Life America. Organ donation is giving an organ or a part of an organ to someone that needs it transplanted into them. The first myth I brought to you is, if I'm an organ donor, then the hospital staff is not going to work as hard to save my life. Well, this is not true because doctors' purpose is to save your life and they're not going to risk your life just to save other people's life. The second one is organ donation is against my religion. Well, nowadays most religions accept organ donation, such as Catholicism, Protestant faiths, most Judaism branches, and Islam. But if you're not sure, you can also talk to the pastor of your church to make sure. So people may think that just donating their organs, it's not going to save many people's life, but they don't really think of those who might use it and then need it. So today I'm going to tell you a story about Robert Phillips, which I found from the New York Times. Robert Phillips was a truck driver who was dying of kidney failure, and he had a sister called Ruth who was thinking of donating her kidney to him, but the transplant from brother to sister doesn't work because siblings don't have the same type of blood. But they decided to try it as a test because he was dying and he didn't have parents anymore. But now Robert Phillips is the world's longest organ transplant survivor. There are many stories like Robert Phillips like this of hope, but what is the real problem? That was just one story, but there are many people that are waiting for something like this to happen to them. Well, there's a need for organ donors in the US, and the numbers I'm going to give you next come from the UNOS data, which is an organ donation organization. So, 120,900 people are waiting on the waiting list for organs. Every 10 minutes, someone is added to the organ donation list. Every day, 22 people die waiting for organs. And 1,993 people donated their organs from January 2015 to January 2016. And one person could save up to 8 lives, donating all their organs. So now I'm going to give you a quote from Lawrence K. Allman from the New York Times. It says, "Over the last 5 decades, surgeons have learned how to transplant virtually every vital organ in the human body. They have also branched out to transplant an array of non-vital body parts, including, most recently, the hand. In the future, face transplants, still a subject of controversy, are likely to become a reality." 151,600 people die on a daily basis. So if most people will consider on donating their organs, maybe the numbers in the waiting list will decrease a little at least. And on the other hand, if you donate your organs and then the person gets the transplant and then they have it and then the body might reject it, so the person will have to take their organs taken out and he or she might die. Or if you're a living donor and then you decide to donate a kidney or the part of your liver, then you might not be able to have such an outdoorsy life or being able to do exercise because your body gets really weak. But at least you will get to save someone's life. And these numbers increase every day and people die daily too. And they could donate their organs, but how can you do that? Well, organ donation is one of the most successful discoveries in the history of medicine. So if you want to donate your organs and you're younger than 18, you need your parents' permission to donate. Once you've decided to donate your organs, your doctor is going to give you a card like this where you can mark whether you want to donate your organs and what part and which ones you want to donate. And once you fill this card is going to be added to your license, so if you ever have an accident, it's going to show up that you're an organ donor. Once you're dead, your organs will be tested and see if they're suitable to be donated or not. Now I have a quote from Donate Life America that says, "Transplantation gives hope to thousands of people with organ failure and provides many others with active and renewed lives." Mireya Valena, who is an organ recipient, said, "When I was at my sickest, I felt like there was no hope left for me. Now I provide hope for those who are waiting for the gift of life." Organ donation is necessary for people who needs to be saved, and by becoming an organ donor, you're given the gift of life to those who really need it. Because why would anyone deprive someone from using their organs after they die when they're not going to use them anymore? By becoming an organ donor, you give hope to the thousands of individuals that are waiting for organ transplants. Ladies and gentlemen, please consider this topic and become an organ donor. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. Wait, I was gonna say, stay put. We're gonna ask you some questions.
Yeah. What time? How was my time?
Can you read this?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All righty. Let's go ahead and ask any questions that you might have for Yasin.
You said that siblings don't have the same blood type, but I thought this can occur. I mean, I at least know someone who donated a kidney or something to their brother.
What?
Like you said that siblings don't have the same blood type.
Yeah.
Is that always? Because I thought it could happen.
Yeah, I think
Is
it's
it just
always.
something?
No, it's usually they don't have the same blood type, but then your mom has the same blood type as you do, but then you don't have the same blood type as your siblings. It's weird. Actually, I never thought about answering that after searching that. Good question though. Yes, Sarah.
Is anyone you know an organ donor?
No, actually, I
You know
just.
I don't know.
Oh, Tuva, I guess. No, but I watch a lot of movies about it, so now I'm considering of becoming one whenever I don't have parents, because I don't want to ask them. Anyone else? Yes.
So you mean if I donate my organ, it will help me? Is it permanent for?
It's not always, but some people donate their kidneys and then they're probably not gonna be able to exercise. You?
Forever?
Yes. You're not gonna have your kidney anymore.
Oh.
Unless you die and you want to give it, then it doesn't matter.
It's not always a good thing for do it for
It's not a good. It's not always. It doesn't always happen that everyone who donates a kidney is gonna have problems. It's just some cases. But I mean, you get to save someone that's gonna die. You're not gonna die. You're just gonna feel tired all the time. Do you have a question?
Anyone else?
Go, Alex. Ask me something.
What do you think, in your opinion, what do you think is the biggest thing that stands in the way of someone of your age group donating an organ? Why do you think it's maybe some people your age don't even want to do it? What do you think keeps them from doing it?
Maybe because they just are scared. It depends, as a living donor or a dead one.
Oh, either one. Your choice to discuss.
Well, living, because as they just heard that they're probably gonna have problems having moving and stuff. It's gonna be painful.
Mm-hmm.
And as a dead donor, because there are a lot of myths that say oh, if I'm an organ donor and I have a really bad accident, then the doctors are just gonna let me die to give my organs, and of course no one wants that.
Mm-hmm.
And because I also read that they leave the bodies open and just throw them away. But I mean, that is just if you give your whole body to science to use it for everything you want. If you just want to donate your organs, then they close it and then you can have a funeral. That's how it works.
Anyone else? All right, let's give her a round of applause then. Thank you very much, Evelyn.